Coming up on ATV News, the fire this morning at one local business could have been a lot worse if not for one guy.
And Aggie football's ball hopes are up in the air. I'll show you in sports.
It hasn't been this warm in November since 1910. I'll show you if it's going to stay that way.
From one owner to another, I'll show you one local music venue that's working to keep its doors open. All that and more. This is ATV News.
Welcome to ATV News. I'm Bo Lamb.
And I'm Chaz Ricks. Logan Fire Department responded to a fire at Taipan Trading Company at 5 o'clock this morning. A police officer driving on Main Street this morning saw smoke and smelled burning plastic coming from a building in the area. After following the smoke, he discovered the Taipan Trading Company building was on fire and called dispatch. Police say that the officer's discovery helped a lot of people.
I think his actions this morning saved a few companies a lot of heartache.
Before firemen could assess the situation, the fire had broken through the roof after they had determined that no people were in the building. They took a defensive approach and worked to get water onto the flame. Firemen said smoke and water can cause more damage to a building than the actual fire. They also say something like this is so devastating to so close to the holidays.
It's all to see a tragedy anytime we see these kind of events here, and it's devastating to a business, I'm sure.
Fire and police departments are investigating what caused the fire. As we get more information, we will post it to our Facebook page. You might be enjoying your warm November, but will it come back to bite you this next spring? ATV's Aaron Cox shows us what to expect.
Roads full, drains full, and houses
Water all over the basement.
full of water. Is this going to be your house
2 to 3 inches of water depending on where you are in the basement.
next spring?
The drainage systems, the sewer systems across the valley were completely backed up.
One Utah climatologist thinks it could be.
I think we're going to have another wet spring. If I had to put my money on it, that's where it would be.
Wow.
And with a house leaking like this, there's a lot of money to be put on
The
it.
fact that it's an unfinished basement, all the wood getting water damage and having there be issues with the studs.
Water issues that first started because of snow.
You have a lot of snow on the ground, the soil is frozen, so nothing can go into the soil. And then we bring big rain events in February and March on top of those deep snowpacks, and all of that water has no place to go, so it just sits on the top of the ground, and we get the big flooding events that we see.
Flooding, Meyer says, that could become a trend.
We're expecting these trends, like the last winter that we've had and the winter we're expecting this year. We're expecting the next half decade or so to be like that.
Aaron Cox, ATV News.
Meyer says over Thanksgiving, Logan broke the record for the warmest November by 5 degrees, something he says won't decrease the chances for flooding in the spring.
Safety concerns and litter have triggered talks between Cache County officials on whether one of the only free shooting ranges in the valley should stay open.
I think it should definitely stay open. I love this range.
These shooters are using the abnormally warm November to enjoy what could be their last time using the Newton Dam gun range. The range is in danger of being closed down after employees of the Newton Water Users Association said they were pinned down by gunfire while servicing the dam. County officials say the danger and the cost of cleanup is too high to keep the range operating, but this local man says leaving it open is the safer option.
It's in the middle of nowhere. The other ranges are kind of closer to town, more potentially dangerous.
The Newton range is still open to the public for now. If you have a legal firearm, you can still shoot there for free.
Yesterday, a Facebook post about 2 men in a white van going door to door in Cache Valley was shared over 2,000 times. Jennifer Henson, the author of the post, says yesterday 2 men came to her home and began looking through the kitchen windows and knocked on her door. She says when she answered the door, one man claimed to know her and then began pressuring her to come outside. After she refused, Henson says the man became aggressive and, quote, cursed her out. She shut the door, and the 2 men drove away in a large, windowless white van they had parked in the driveway. The Cache County Sheriff's offices say the men are meat salesmen, but to always side with caution when dealing with people that you do not know.
If you're a fan of live music, here in Logan there are only a few options available to you, but one local music venue just got a new owner, saving it from closing down. Y Sound, which has been open here in Logan for 10 years, was set to shut its doors this year, but now Aaron Cardiel has bought the business, saving it from closure, and he says it's because Y Sound is an important part of the community.
In a town like this, I definitely think we need it. It's a college town, there's a lot of people. We kind of need a social outlet kind of thing, so you're not just always sitting at home doing the same thing every night.
Cardiel says it will take a lot of work to get the venue to where he wants it, but he says he's optimistic about the future.
It's kind of, overwhelming, but I think I could do it. Actually, I know I could do it.
Cardiel also says there's a concert planned at the venue this weekend.
A Smithfield elementary school had a unique visitor yesterday. A cow moose was spotted just outside Summit Elementary. Officials say the moose was spotted at 7:30 in the morning. The Division of Wildlife Resources says they tried to push the moose away from the school until they could tranquilize it. Officials say around 9:20 the moose was tranquilized in a neighboring backyard, loaded into a horse trailer to be released into the wild.
When we come back, a new program about old pioneers. We'll show you what launched yesterday.
International Giving Tuesday was yesterday. We'll show you how a local nonprofit celebrated.
In Utah, 1 in 8 women and 1 in 50 men will be raped. Also in Utah, 1 in 3 women will experience sexual violence. Of the completed and attempted rapes against college women, less than 5% will actually be reported. Sexual assault should not be a part of the college experience. Always get consent.
Consent for sexual activity is enthusiastic.
Consent is sober.
Consent is non-coerced.
Consent is verbal.
Consent is mutual.
If you or someone you know has experienced sexual assault, report it at reportingsa.usu.edu.
Hey, welcome back. The Comprehensive Treatment Clinic is sponsoring the fundraiser Cash Shoes for Kids, where you can go donate money that gives underprivileged children an opportunity to pick out a brand new pair of shoes. An opportunity, says the fundraising coordinator, that many of these children have never had.
Teaching your kids to appreciate hard work might not be easy, but a program launched yesterday might give you a few new parenting ideas. ATV's Erin Cox joins us to tell us about this new program. Erin?
Thanks, Bo. It's called Pioneer 365, a new program to teach students about their pioneer ancestors and to inspire them to do hard things like they did.
How many of you have brothers or sisters in your family?
Hands raised. These students filled the auditorium for music.
Will you sing that with me? 'Cause I have the will to win.
And stories.
Well, there were pioneers in the early days of Utah who had to do some difficult things.
Difficult things similar to problems these kids might have to face.
Pioneering is just solving problems.
And helping these kids solve problems was the inspiration behind this program.
This will just be another way that we can emphasize that idea.
Brenda Sun, one of the founders for Pioneer 365, says she wants to help students who are struggling. Actually, the biggest purpose for this is for everyone to be happy. If we can unify everyone, together we can care for each other.
A pioneer is somebody who...
Caring for each other like the pioneers did every day, 365 days a year.
They do what they do not for themselves, but for those who will follow after them. They do it to leave a better world.
And hoping these kids will do the same, this program teaches students to make personal goals.
I'm going to be a pioneer by improving my drawing skills.
I'm going to be a pioneer by being in the Air Force. Being a photographer.
By being a good role model for my siblings.
I hope they will say that they reached their goal and that they themselves have progressed.
After reaching their goals, they can get a little quilted piece like this and add it to one of the 20 handcarts that Logan has in Logan City. And next summer, they'll be walking in the parade of 4th of July with the handcarts. Erin Cox reporting live, ATV News. Back to you, Bo.
Thanks, Erin. And how many schools are starting this program?
所以咧，佢哋會有3個學校開始先驅者3落5。Basically what that meant is right now they have 3 potential schools that are picking up this program. Yesterday was Edith Bohm. Today Brenda Sun went to homeschoolers, and she says that she hopes that she can spread this around the Cache community.
Muy bien, Erin. Sounds like a great program, and it's a good thing I'm as fluent in Chinese as you are.
Cleaning up Logan Parks in late November may sound chilly and full of raking leaves, but for the family place, it was about something bigger. Yesterday was International Giving Tuesday, and for the family place, that meant giving back to the community. Most years they choose to raise money for local organizations, but for the first time this year they gave a day of service to the community. The day started and finished at Rendezvous Park and with a quick stop at Hiram City Square. The evening welcomed their biggest turnout of the day, where people of all ages of the community came together to help rake up leaves and sticks in the park. For some, the experience with leaves was a first.
I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, so this is the first time I've actually raked leaves. It's been a fun experience.
Family Place says this is something that they are very proud of, and they are excited to see people helping out Cache Valley.
We've had a great response from the community, lots of responses on Facebook, social media, as well as coming out here to help us out.
The Family Place is a local nonprofit that focuses on giving back to families and the community, even when it's not Giving Tuesday. For more information about the Family Place and their upcoming events, check out our Facebook page.
And stay tuned, because when we come back, Alex Zellner will have your Cache Valley weather report.
It's currently sunny in Cache Valley with a temperature of 45 degrees.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Can you feel the sun?
Quiet, please. Wait a sec. I'll take one. Oh yeah. All right. All good. Take care. Way to go. Nice. Bring it on. Gotcha. I'm here for you. Oh no. Please, please, please. I'm waiting. Interesting. Not buying it. Not fair. That's it. This conversation is over. Oh, brother.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment, and that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
TV's Alex Zellner joins us at our desk for our full weather forecast.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Welcome back from break. How was your guys' Thanksgivings?
It was really good. I had a good one.
It was warm, wasn't it?
Really warm outside.
I actually went home to California and it was 93 degrees on Thanksgiving.
Wow.
I had to wear shorts, which was pretty weird.
Pretty good here. And I have some plans this weekend. Is it going to stay that way?
I wish I could tell you that. And I'm really sorry that I can't. But first, let's start with our national. And as you guys can see, the one good thing that Bo can look forward to is it's not going to be too wet, but we could get a little bit of moisture coming in over the weekend. As you can see here, there is a little bit of a storm cell up in Montana, but there isn't much coming down by Utah. In California, there isn't a lot going on, but over on the East Coast, you can see that there is a little bit in Louisiana, but when it's light blue like this, that actually just means slight moisture, but not heavy rain. So they may get hit by a little precipitation, but not anything too serious. You can see through Florida, there is a little bit of light spots. Up on the East Coast, there is a little storm cell that is moving through New York, but again, like I said, that should be some light rain, no heavy precipitation or a big storm cell. Over on the West Coast, kind of the same thing going on. We have some light rain in California, some light rain up in Oregon and Washington, but that is not going to seriously affect Utah, at least not in the next day or so, but it could begin to hit us in the next couple days and over the weekend. Let's go to our local, actually. In our local, you can see we don't have much rain hitting this state of Utah right now, but we do have a little bit up in the mountains of Salt Lake. There is a little bit through the valley there and some coming in on the west side. There is nothing hitting Logan currently. We have nice sunshine. It hasn't been too cold. Like we said, Thanksgiving weathers are actually record-breaking. They were the hottest weather that we've had since November of 1910, which is very surprising. And like I said, in California, it was 93 degrees and warm up here and very comfortable. It should stay that way for the next couple of days, but we could see some weather coming in. It has not hit the state yet, as you can see by just these small little broken up pieces of storms that are hitting the Salt Lake Valley, but there's nothing up in the Logan area besides some scattered clouds. We shouldn't see much coming in the next, through the day, through the evening, but we could see it in this weekend. Let's go to our 7-day. On Wednesday, you can see that we have a high of 45 and a low of 20. That's today. If you've been outside, it's not too chilly. There's been a little bit of weather or wind hitting us, but nothing too serious. Tomorrow should be quite comfortable with a high of 34 and a low of 24. That is getting a little cooler, but there isn't any moisture, so we shouldn't see any freezing or snowing. Friday, however, that's when the moisture could hit us. In the afternoon, we have a 20% chance of rain with a high of 35 and a low of 28. Saturday, though, we will warm up again a little bit with a high of 40 and a low of 27 and no clouds. So we should have a nice sunny day for this weekend. So, Bo, I hope your plans work out well. On Sunday, we have a high of 30 and a low of 27, and that snow could come back. We have a 20% chance of snow on Sunday. That could hit us, but it should clear up, and we could see some scattered sunshine in the afternoon. Monday, kind of the same thing, high of 26, low of 16, getting much cooler. But Tuesday, it'll get back up to 29 with a low of 20. Back to you guys at the desk.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. It does look like I might be able to get some Saturday play in.
Yeah, luckily for us, all the outdoor sports are over. But Aggie football played this weekend. But why our fate, maybe the hands of Florida State? Coming up in sports.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time. One book can be the first thing helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Mom always told me to start off with a joke before you break someone's heart. The Aggies obviously didn't get that memo this weekend when they broke our hearts. Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to ATV Sports. Football season comes to an end, and the men's and women's basketball teams traveled for the break. The men's team spent the break in Nashville to play Northeastern and New Hampshire and came out on top before dropping their final game yesterday to Valparaiso. Their record is 4-4. The women's team dropped both of their games this week to Southern Utah 70-67 and Idaho State 64-44. Their record is 1-4 on the season. The Aggie football team became bowl eligible last week, but their postseason hopes are still up in the air. Force? A victory over the Falcons this weekend would almost guarantee the Aggies a ticket into the bowl season. On their first possession, Jordan Love and company came out with a few tricks up their sleeve. With this reverse to Aaron Vaughn, Love, well, he tries to block here, helps Vaughns, who hasn't scored a touchdown all season, cuts it up the middle of the field. Vaughns will take this one 71 yards. Aggie offense was running at will on the Falcons. Gerald Bright came into this one running 99 yards and 9 carries. Bright would rush for 402 yards in this game. The Aggies would have 237 rushing yards on the day. Aggies lead 14-3. A few drives later, the Falcons will score their first touchdown here to Timothy McVeigh. And the Aggies answer right back with their third rushing touchdown of the season with this 11-yard run to senior Lawan Hunt, who runs around a few Falcons here. A high-scoring first half as the Falcons answer right back with Isaiah Sanders scores his first of 3 touchdowns. Aggies lead 21-7. Falcons would get the ball at half, though, and reclaim their lead with another run to Sanders. We have a passing touchdown, everyone, and as Love finds Ronquavian Tarver here for 24 yards and the touchdown. The Aggies were looking to close this one out in the fourth, but they sit dangerously close at their goal line. The Aggies can't keep up on this blitz, and Love fumbles the ball, and the Falcons recover and get the lead 31-28. Similar to before, though, Love finds his man Tarver, and he just fights through this Air Force cornerback and shows his strength here and gets his second touchdown of the day. Falcons would run the clock out, though, in their next possession to under 2 minutes and score the final touchdown of the game here from Sanders. Falcons win this one 38-35. Aggies finish their season 6-6. So now that the regular season is over, we can look more closely on what the bowl situation is looking for our football team. There are 78 teams who get to go bowling this season. As of right now, there are 79 teams who are bowl eligible, with 3 more becoming available this weekend. Teams that would automatically be, we're going to eliminate, so like Florida State here, due to their conference tie-ins. If New Mexico and Louisiana Lafayette lose this weekend, we're going to be compared to these 9 teams. Now, the Aggies didn't do themselves any favors this weekend by having their only victory to UNLV, as you see here, but their strength of schedule is very high with an 84 compared to the other teams. However, I don't see it very often the Aggies win if New Mexico State and Louisiana Lafayette wins this season, even with 6 wins. Aggie football will be looking forward to Sunday to see that their chances are to go bowling, and men's basketball welcomes BYU this weekend. That's all for me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Braden. When we come back, there seems to be a lot more bears in Utah than usual. We'll tell you what's being done about it.
The zoo is holding its final event of the year. We'll show you what it is and what they're doing.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Sorry, I've got big ideas. As a college student, you have big ideas to make a big difference on campus. Why not get funding for those ideas in a big way? The Blue Goes Green grant provides funding for student sustainability projects. These projects help USU students be more environmentally responsible, live healthier, and save money. To find out more, go to usu.edu/BGG. Get funding for your Blue Goes Green idea in a big way. Blue Goes Green. Make a difference.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Students in biological engineering at Utah State University have the unique chance through the Synthetic Biomanufacturing Institute to engineer uses for spider silk. Projects developed in the lab include medical coatings, strong adhesives, and elastic woven fibers. These Aggies from Utah State are influencing and changing the face of biological engineering. Join them and leave your mark as well.
Thanks for sticking around. Well, you know, Bo, it's been a lot warmer than it typically has been, but, you know, and there's a lot of people trying to stay warm. And I went to Zootah at Willow Park to see what happens when the happens to the animals when winter comes to town.
These capuchin monkeys have been brought inside for the winter at Zootah at Willow Park. With the temperatures dropping, the zoo looks like a ghost town. There is still a lot of work being done by workers to bring many of the animals, like these tropical birds, inside and out of the cold. There is a special room kept around 85 degrees for the snakes, like this ball python, and other reptiles like these tortoises. It's so warm, this blue iguana enjoys a cooling mist from one of the volunteers. Many of the animals, like this bobcat and these porcupines, are native to Cache Valley and can endure the freezing winters outside through simply filling their beds with fresh straw.
We put some bedding in there for them, so when it gets cold during the night, they have a place where they can go and curl up and sleep during the night. We always want to make sure that they're comfortable, and like in the wild during the winter time, they always find like a nice place where they can stay and get warm. So we want to make sure that they always have a warm place.
5 years ago, the zoo became a non-profit organization and has created more ways to make money to keep the animals fed and warm.
5 years ago, this was the entranceway to the old zoo, where donations were voluntary. However, now they've built a new entrance where you have to pay to get in, and these funds directly help the animals.
Zoo Director Troy Cooper says events like Boo at the Zoo, Zoo Lights, and Reindeer Trek are huge events to help the zoo sustain itself.
All these events and all the donations and all the support that we get are even more important for us in order to keep moving and keeping this part of the one of the gems of the valley.
Without the zoo, Cache Valley wouldn't have a place where animals like Ashley, a great horned owl with a missing wing, could live a long and happy life.
The zoo will be holding its final event of the year, Reindeer Days, this Friday and Saturday.
According to the Division of Wildlife Resources, black bears are doing extremely well in Utah this year. So biologists of the DWR have proposed issuing 860 permits rather than the initial 758. The Division of Wildlife Resources says they are doing this to help maintain a healthy and stable bear population.
That's pretty awesome. That's a lot of bears.
I had no idea. I've never seen a bear in my life, and so I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, I keep hearing that they're around. You know, that they've been around and that their population is growing. I think they boom and then they kind of, they run out of resources and come down. And
they run out of things.
Yeah, it's just kind of how it goes.
Yep. Thanks for joining us on this edition of ATV News. Visit our Facebook and Instagram pages for every episode.
We leave you with some shots from First Dam. Have a great week, Aggies.